Hi guys!
Hello!
We're back with another video. It's dark again.
Still dark.
We're in the church. It's
still cold.
Boomy church loft. But we are again braving the elements.
We are.
To bring you
We're
beautiful,
heroes, really.
Yeah, we are real heroes, and we're bringing you beautiful smells. So today,
what have we got here?
Where
do we start?
Well,
Tuscan Leather.
So today
Tuscan
we're doing
Leather.
a fragrance by Tom Ford called Tuscan Leather.
Which is this?
Here is Joe's really
This is old.
well-loved box, held together by bits of sellotape.
And then you
like
take the top off, and there she is.
Ta-da! So last time we talked a bit about niche and designer fragrances.
Yeah.
And this is so Tom Ford is obviously a designer.
Yeah.
But he has a, if you like, niche line.
Yeah. Within his regular fragrances, this is a
So he does
thing.
his private blend line, which if you they have it in lots of airports. It's the kind of thing that if you're flying a lot, you might have seen them a lot, and they also have lots of department stores. But they are more expensive, certainly.
Yeah.
Higher quality.
Much higher quality.
Arguably. And there are others. So Dior also do a similar thing. They do a privé.
Yeah,
line.
Dior Privé. Chanel do Les Exclusives.
Les Exclusives. So some of the designer houses do have this kind of niche caliber line, which is more expensive. But
and more interesting generally. I mean, not always, but
yeah, like
a lot of the time.
Bolder, and also, especially with the Tom Ford, you get a lot of them which go for a single ingredient or a single idea.
Yeah.
Like Amber Absolute or Patchouli and things like that, where they're focusing on a single note. Which also, like maybe in our last video, we were a little bit rude about.
We were.
Designer fragrance, and so we feel bad about that and a bit sorry. Yeah. Because there are some amazing designer fragrances.
Oh God, absolutely.
And Tom Ford has been responsible for a lot of them. So this is from his private blend range, but even in his normal range, there are some great ones, particularly
things.
Black Orchid.
Black Orchid, masterpiece.
Which is marketed as a feminine fragrance. Yeah. It's kind of chocolatey, patchouli, like it's amazing. And I don't think it's marketed as feminine, but I think a man could definitely
always. I think ignore any marketing, masculine, feminine. If you love the fragrance, wear it. That's the rule, isn't it? Really.
I mean, there's no. Well, I was going to say there's no such thing as a feminine or masculine fragrance. Although having said that, this is a very masculine fragrance. But anyway, but also
the ladies out there, that wear this, I take my hat off. If I had a hat,
you would definitely
I would take it off.
But also Tom Ford, even before he set up his own designer line, he's responsible for some really great fragrances.
And he was in charge at Gucci.
Yeah, so Gucci MV and Gucci Pour Homme and things like that. And last time we talked about Yves Saint Laurent M7, which is one of the big first uses of oud, and that was when Tom Ford was working at Yves Saint Laurent. Anyway,
bold, the only thing previously that YSL had done, which captured my attention, at least, was Kouros.
Yeah.
And that was a masterpiece. And then he came in and said, bam, I'm going to shake things up a bit.
Completely different kind of...
brought in oud, which no one had heard of.
Arab influence, completely
Didn't sell, no one cared.
No.
Now, who's laughing now? Well, no one is laughing, but...
We sometimes laugh.
We do.
Right, so, Tuscan Leather. So, this... I mean, when this came out... It must have been completely original. So this... Should we have a squirt?
Let's have a little squirt.
Do you mind if I go first?
You please squirt away.
So I don't own this. I haven't smelt this for a while. We should also, at some point, we should probably talk about reformulation and things.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit boring, so maybe we won't do it now. But this is is this kind of original batch, do we think?
This is from the very first batch that was made in 2007.
It's falling to bits. It's absolutely... So it's
purchased in 2009.
Oh, crackers, it's hot in left, there we go.
It's the last dregs. The angel's share has been taken. It's a good beast, isn't it?
It's such an extraordinary opening.
Yeah.
Like...
I'm going to smell it on you, I'm not going to spray any more myself.
Oh, sorry, I'll say back.
Look at that.
So you'll just hit, I mean, the first thing you get is this massive petrol-y, some would say cocaine, but it's this petrol-y...
I've never had cocaine in my life, I've never had any drug. Yeah. But if cocaine smelled like this...
Then you would definitely take it.
Probably,
definitely.
I'm saying
but it's this big exciting, like petrol note,
huge,
which just makes you feel like you want to put on a leather jacket and go clubbing and fighting. Or sorry, not fighting. But,
you're on a racetrack somewhere, and it's Formula One, and you can hear the cars going around.
Exactly.
Petrol in the air, burning rubber on the tyres.
See, as I said to you when we were talking about this earlier, the thing which this reminds me of, it doesn't smell like necessarily, but it reminds me of Fahrenheit by Dior again, which is
wonderful masterpiece.
Kind of really masculine, makes you think of wearing like jeans and like you've got oil from like working on an engine. This is a similar kind of feel, but the difference with this, so from the beginning there's also a lot of saffron, which is really interesting. In that it's an incredibly soft thing against an incredibly kind of hard thing.
It tries to add some elegance. And do you pick up a little note of raspberry there?
Yeah. And again,
some sweet fruit on top of this, which is very interesting.
It sounds so weird to have petrol and saffron. And, it sounds like such a... But they go together so beautifully. It is pretty punchy, but there's a roundness to it. And now I'm starting to get, and as it develops further, you really get lots and lots of suede. Yeah. So it's not, even though it's called...
Very warm suede.
Even though it's called Tuscan Leather, there are some fragrances which have this dark, rich, heavy leather. This is not really that, I don't think.
No, compared to some of the things that we've smelt in recent years.
Yeah.
This is perhaps not... It's not the huge sort of beast mode leather.
It's more of a kind of a round, a soft, something you could gently brush against your face.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But having said that, it's not...
It smells great.
It's not a polite...
No, it's bold. I mean it's bold and...
If you wear this...
It's ahead of its time, really.
You will get noticed.
You will get noticed.
I think...
You may not get compliments, but you will get noticed.
God, it's amazing. And it's so kind of innovative.
And bearing in mind, interesting fact, when these fragrances came out in 2007, he introduced a whole load of them at once. So it wasn't one a year, as a lot of fragrances are. It was Tobacco Vanille, Tuscan Leather, Amber Absolute, Bois Marocain. They all came out as a sort of collection, my private blend collection.
And
how bold to do that
so
now.
many of them are kind of real kind of like benchmark fragrances, and they all came out at the same time.
Some stunning things in there.
Which is absolutely incredible. So Tom Ford available at lots of airports, lots of department stores. Now the thing to say about this, as is the case with a few of the fragrances we've talked about, it's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap.
So I think 100 ml of this retails at 230 at the moment.
Yeah.
So it might be a bit frustrating for people if they're watching and they're thinking, oh yeah, maybe I would buy one of these.
We can get a small bottle as well, which is more reasonable.
Yeah, but that's still about
150, 60, or maybe even more. Yeah.
So this is better value for your money, and you get more mils.
And it's bigger. I just love bigger.
But it still is a lot to spend on something.
It is.
But then
we don't want people to be bankrupted in this fragrance game.
There is an alternative.
There are wonderful alternatives.
There's not just an alternative. There are two alternatives, which we have. So
both wonderful.
In the fragrance world, there are increasing numbers of clones.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned a little bit last time, there's always a problem with these designer and kind of luxury niche brands that they trade on their brand a lot, and so can charge more than perhaps arguably than the juice itself is worth.
Yeah, absolutely.
So smaller companies, if they don't advertise so much and things like that, can charge a lot less.
Yeah, they struggle, don't they, to get it across? But actually, the concentration
and they often remain something which people in the fragrance community know about.
Yeah.
But we're gonna bring it to the people.
Very special.
So this is called La Yuqawam.
If you can't read it backwards, don't worry, because it is backwards.
No, it'll be, by the time it's on the video,
this be correct?
It'll be fine.
Fine.
Don't worry about it.
But if you can't read it backwards, don't feel bad.
But this is La Yuqawam by Rasasi.
Yeah.
So where is it based? Dubai. It's based in Dubai. So this is made in Dubai. I mean, if that smells from the bottle, it smells very, very, very close. So let's.
Yeah, I mean you're in the same territory.
Let's have
a little spritz of that. I've not worn this for a while. Wow.
Let me smell it. Oh, so actually, it is a bit brighter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brighter. It's fresher.
Yeah.
instantly I'm getting a burst of fresh citruses or something there to lift it.
There's a tiny bit more spice. I mean, we're kind of picking holes in it, but
these are tiny differences.
It smells really similar. You're still getting that kind of like that petrol-y, cocaine-y note.
Oh,
You're
totally,
saffron.
totally. I'm still getting that sweet raspberry. If anything, I'm getting a little bit more of that sweetness at the top. Whereas Tuscan Leather is kind of quite brooding, this has a little bit more of a smile.
I don't know. I do get a real slightly darker suede. It feels a little bit richer.
Yeah.
This one again. I mean, it's very, very close.
I'm getting a little bit of plum as well, or some sort of quite dark, ripe fruit.
Kind of rich, kind of boozy, kind of fruity, kind of.
I do love that. Look at that.
That's really. I mean, as you can see, there's very little difference. But
can you see that they're both the same? Roughly?
Yeah, I mean, they come out almost exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean, that's really beautiful. That's really beautiful.
I mean, the differences, we're kind of picking holes in things, but the differences are really not huge. And the other thing I would say about this is it lasts for ages.
Oh, absolutely.
You only need 2 or 3 sprays, and people, whenever I wear it, people often comment on about it. If I wear more than 3 sprays, people complain because I've sprayed too much. It's really strong. It lasts absolutely forever.
And we should also mention the quality as well. For a clone that's probably done by gas chromatography.
Yeah.
The quality is actually really good. These aren't very cheap, nasty smelling ingredients at all. It's actually really nice as a fragrance in its own right. If this never existed at all, and that was on the shelves,
good. So
I wouldn't complain at all.
What Joe's talking about, gas chromatography, means that presumably what someone has taken Tuscan Leather, put it through a machine, analysed it to see what the ingredients
are. A spectrograph, isn't it? And it sort of compiles the molecules.
Yeah. So it's giving you the kind of the molecular recipe for the fragrance, which somebody has then recreated. Really, really, really well. I mean, I own this. I can't see myself ever buying Tuscan Leather because I think this is so good and it kind of really does the job.
Yeah. And the presentation as well, we should talk about that. I mean, you don't have the full box here, do you?
But it comes in this great big
wooden
wooden box.
Luxurious.
Really lovely. And this is £60.
Yeah.
So...
no contest, really.
This is £230. This is £60. But, I mean, £60 is still quite a lot to spend on a fragrance. So, is there a cheaper option?
There is.
There is a cheaper option. This.
Ta-da!
This is Arab Tradition by Nabeel.
Good chap.
So when you smell it, you straight away you get that
same DNA.
You get saffron. You get the that kind of petrol quality. You get that kind of warm kind of leather.
Beautiful. Let's go for some on that arm.
It is up.
Give us a spritz. Go on. There we are. Lovely.
I do get a little bit of ISO super now.
Yes. ISO super, we should say, is another molecule that boosts the fragrance. Yeah, so it doesn't have a smell of its own, rather it has a...
Yeah, so it's used a lot.
It has a throw.
It's used hugely in perfumery to ramp things up. It's used as a fixative to make it stronger. Something like Terre de Hermès, for instance,
Terre de Hermès, huge
is about 60% ISO super.
Enquenard by Lalique.
Yeah, but once that goes...
bloody good.
I mean, it smells... You get all the things we've been talking about, the kind of suede, the saffron, the kind of raspberry...
freshness is there again, isn't it?
It's a little bit lighter, and I don't mean lighter in terms of performance. It's still punchy, but it's not quite as dark. It's a bit, lighter in terms of colour.
Yeah.
In terms of mood, it's a little bit lighter. It's also, I get a little bit more of the kind of herby quality, almost like a little bit, thymy kind of.
It's far more herbaceous. It's fresher all round, isn't it? But it's got the same underlying. I get a slight suggestion of some white florals, like a bit of jasmine or something like that. It's not a million miles away from something like Beaver by Zoologist. That slightly animalic lily.
Yeah. So again, we're kind of picking holes, but I think it's important to say that, so that's Tuscan Leather.
I get a bit of Amouage interlude on there as well, I have to say.
Oh yeah,
a little relation.
These do smell very, very, very similar. And again, I would say this Arab tradition lasts
It's
12,
pretty great,
12, 12
isn't it?
hours.
Yeah.
It lasts, and when I smell it on people, it's really, really, really strong. You don't need many sprays, 3 or 4 sprays. It performs stupendously.
And price-wise as well. I mean, this thing is a masterpiece of value.
This is £13. £13. You can buy it on eBay. There are lots of people who sell it on eBay reliably.
Yeah.
If you find it on there, people won't dupe you with it because it's
an unknown.
It's so cheap, really, and at £13.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing.
I would suggest it's definitely worth blind buying.
I always think, obviously being a larger gentleman, I'm not into high-end fashion, but if you were into suits, for instance, you would spend an absolute ton on a lovely suit that would last you a few years. These things are the same. You wear a squirt of this every day, and it becomes a signature scent, if you like. This thing would last you 5-10 years.
But you don't have to spend a fortune.
No, you really don't have to.
You don't have to spend the amount you spend on Tom Ford.
That's the beauty of it. Yeah.
So, I guess the only slightly sad thing about this really is that Tom Ford has come up with something incredibly original and slightly maybe
a beautiful bottle. We should say.
He's done something really creative, really innovative, and so these other people have ripped him off essentially. And so I guess you could compare it to buying, fake designer jeans or something like that. But then there's the slight other argument of is it really worth what it costs? Is it marked up? Anyway,
that's true.
These are all decisions which you can make, but
smell them.
We're talking about lots of expensive things. We understand people don't want to spend lots of money. So if you want to try something which smells like a very, very, very expensive fragrance, and the other thing I would say, this more so than the other two, I think this one is completely unisex.
Yeah, absolutely. So that floral freshness actually lends itself more.
You've got to be, a reasonably bold woman to wear this, but I really think you can because there's a slight more kind of lightness and sweetness to this. So I would say this one is completely unisex. So if you want to try something, it's £13. Get it on eBay.
A little bit more. The Yuqawam, very beautiful.
But if you want to stick faithful to the original, and you're going through the airport so you can get it duty free, do a duty to Tom Ford and spend the money.
Poor man, it's hard times for him at the moment.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
If you can lend a hand.
Anyway, go and smell them, enjoy them, love them, cherish them. Happy smelling.
Bye.
Bye.